Today we are going to go to the Steens Mountains. It's really smoky out here, and we're hoping if we go up higher to some of the overlooks and things, we'll get some good views of some flowers and all kinds of fun stuff up on the mountains.
Well, you got the thistles, they were pretty.
Yeah. So come along with us. This will be a fun little journey today. Hey everybody, welcome to Tigner Adventures. We are having fun exploring the Steens Mountain Wilderness area.
It's wilderness.
Yeah, it's wilderness.
I like that.
And look, she got herself a little frog right here.
A little green one.
Yeah.
Isn't he cute?
So,
I've never seen green ones like this.
yeah, we rescued him from over by the bathroom and we brought him over here by the lake.
I've never seen green ones like this. So that's pretty
Now, he's a little baby frog. He'll probably get darker later. Who knows? Oh, there he goes. Right into the water.
Well, he needs moisture.
Yep, he needs some moisture. So you can see this is a really nice little lake here. This is called Fish Lake. You have this dock.
Fish out there.
Yeah, we don't have any fishing licenses though. Yeah, we didn't bring anything with us to fish with. So anyway, yeah, so nice little frog.
I like little frogs.
So we're out here in the wilderness today. It is quite smoky. There's still a number of fires that are burning in the area. So it's not really just affecting us. It's actually covering the whole region. So clear over into Idaho, all the way up past Bend. We're on our way. Eventually we're going to get over to Bend. And that has got tons of fires over there and lots of smoke too. So I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of a breeze up here. So I'm hoping that it'll kind of blow the smoke. It gives a little bit more visibility than we've had earlier today. But we'll just kind of play it by ear. But we're going to go check out the local area and the flowers. And I mean, this is the wilderness area of the Steens Mountains. So it's really pretty. This Fish Lake, this is an actual campground that you can come up and camp at, and it might be a long drive in a motorhome because it's a pretty washboardy road, but there are some trailers up here. Look how clear this water is. This is mountain lakes are always nice and clear. These lakes are stocked all the time by Fish and Wildlife, and this lake has a good reputation for good fishing, and so a lot of people like to come up here. They have boat docks both ends of the lakes that you can drop boats off and kind of meander around the lake a little bit. So really good fishing if you happen to have a license. We don't have that or a pole.
If we had our canoe.
Yeah, we don't even have our canoe with us. Oh, did you see that fish just jump up out of the water? Wow.
He was performing for you.
Yeah, he was kind of small, but
Someone's chasing him.
Trouts have to be minimum of 6 inches, but a 6-inch trout is a pretty small trout. So, but anyway, pretty water. Well, we're getting higher up, and look, we're starting to pick up a lot of the wildflowers. Any place there's kind of water sitting around. And then there's a little bit of snow over there on those mountains. Right up here on top. We have arrived at Kigor Gorge. This is an overlook that we're going to be at. This is all managed by the Bureau of Land Management because this is a major wilderness area up through here. It's a little windy, so hopefully it doesn't detour from the audio too much, but we're going to walk over here and look over this overlook. Unfortunately, it's still a little smoky. It is windy on top here. It's just not blowing it out of the gorge here, but you can see that it's a pretty big gorge, really pretty. This is a really popular overlook. And you can see why. Look at how pretty that is. Wow. Look at that. That is magnificent. Even with the smoke. We got a little bit of snow over here on the left still. But pretty cool gorge. Collect all the water and it runs down through there. Down onto the Wildhorse Desert that we'll be seeing later on another video, on our next video. You know, they have a whole book dedicated to the wildflowers that are up here on the Steens Mountains. Just all kinds of different flowers. Oh, we found a sign over here talking about the gorge. Well, if there's any questions, this is bulldozed by glaciers. Pretty obvious when you're looking at it, but that's what it looked like. You can stop the video and read about this if you'd like, but it did a really nice job. Look at this canyon. Right down there is Little Blitzen waterfall. This goes down into the Blitzen River, but it's a real pretty gorge also. Just look at all this lava rock on the sides here. So much volcanic action here long time ago. We have made our way up to the East Rim Overlook. There are some signs right here. This kind of explains the whole layout of the Steens Mountain area. You can see we're up on top. This is basically the phenomena right here. I was explaining in my last video, we gradually go up and then it's just a big drop off. That drops off down into the Wildhorse Desert. The sign says, standing right here, you experience the vastness of Eastern Oregon, which normally would be the case. However, it is really smoky down that way, so I'm not sure it's just kind of captured it all. But you can see that it is difficult to really see down there, and you get a really strong smoke smell right here. But unfortunately, we can't see that far out there. That visibility is horrible. It is such a pretty area too, so look at that. It is, I don't know if you can just see past the smoke and just imagine what that looks like. Such a massive view. This is looking off the other side. There's a lake right down there, and there's those mountains there. And then we're, well, it's an ice lake, winter lake, snow runoff pond, whatever. So right over there on that side of that slope over there is the Cottonwood Creek Falls, and this just drains out there. The actual Wildhorse Desert is more over that way, straight through. So, and if we look up here to the right, we can see some radio towers. That's the side we need to look over. So we're going to drive over there, see if we can get anywhere close to that area to overlook. We have made it to the end of the road for this section. So we got the Wildhorse Trailhead. We're going to go down in a minute, but I wanted to show you this side from this angle, so you can see a little bit of the flats out that way. And there's a radio tower up there, so I'm going to hike up to there. Ninette doesn't want to hike up there, so I'm going to go check that out. So we'll see what it's like up there. This is the road up to the radio tower. They do have it blocked off so people can't drive up here. I have driven up here several times when I worked for the BLM because I worked on the radio tower from time to time. But we're going to hike up here and check things out. Okay, I'm breathing hard. The road goes up at a pretty good angle. I'm at 9,600 feet. Far cry from the sea level I've been at for most of the winter. But we're gonna keep going, work our way up to these radio towers. So anyway, we'll be at the highest point up here, currently 9,600, so we'll see if we hit 10,000 feet. Who knows? Look, they even have a little plaque up here we'll have to stop at, and then there are the radio towers. And wow, unfortunate we don't have a very good view. So this sign, Trapped in Time, this Wildhorse Lake, we're gonna hike out over to the rim there in a minute with Ninette when I get done hiking this. This is a good view of Wildhorse Lake and the canyon as it goes down towards Andrews. So down there where the mountains kind of end is where the actual Wildhorse Ranch is. So the last time that I was up here was probably about 45 to 47 years ago. That's when I worked for the BLM, just out of high school. And 1 year after Ninette and I got married. So anyway, I was trying to get a job with them on a permanent basis to work on the radios. So I helped out on the radios a lot. And this is what the area looks like now. So lots of stuff up here, even cellular towers, even propane bottles, propane tanks. Those weren't here back when I was here. All that was here was this one building, really small building right in front of me, and this tower. So the tower was there, the building, and what had happened is it was about November time, from late October, November, and I was still working on radios and things, and lightning hit this tower and blew out some equipment. Well, we had no way to drive up here because you can see it's pretty steep, and we are currently at, well, it just blinked away for a second, but we're really close to 10,000 feet. I'll tell you in a minute. So we got a helicopter to come from Boise, because if you didn't have all that smoke out there, you could see Boise from here. It's a long ways over there, but we are a long ways up. And anyway, that helicopter came and got us, and we flew up here and we landed where those other towers and things are now. And I came down, got the equipment that was bad, and we hauled it back to our shop in Burns. Well, the story that with that goes that when the helicopter was sitting here, there was a lot of snow and it was really cold. And we went in, got the equipment, and in the meantime, he had shut the helicopter off. We came back out, got in the helicopter, he could not get it started. That was not a thing that you want to be contemplating having to spend the night up here. It's darn cold in the wintertime. So anyway, he called over to Boise, which is right there, straight line of shot, no issues, and got a hold of a tech that walked us through to get the helicopter started. And the tech says, hey, do you have a pencil with an eraser on it? And he says, yeah, I got one right here. And he goes, okay, get up to this point on the engine, and you put that eraser in this little hole on the engine, and then crank it over. And he did, and it started up. Craziest things. I have no idea what that was all about, but it worked, and we were able to fly down off the mountain. So that was pretty cool. The whole significance of this whole area here, especially for the BLM, is this is a major repeater for this whole area of this portion that the Burns District Office, controls. So when we have fires, no matter where they're at, we always could hit, as long as we could hit this repeater, we could always get into town to get more help or to talk to Boise or whatever we needed to do. So this was a pretty important place to have a radio tower, and we are pretty high. We are at the top. That's looking back towards the parking lot where the car is. Can't really see the car, but that is the side of the canyon as it goes down the mountain. What an overlook. This is pretty cool. 9,700 feet up in the air and just looking out over the countryside there. So I just looked at the elevation on my watch. We're at 9,735, so just short of 10,000 feet. Still up here quite a ways, and we're going to look over this other side over here. All we're seeing over here is just a little bit more of the Wildhorse Canyon. And then we also have the view of this over here. So it is pretty difficult to tell, but somewhere on the side of this mountain here, and I'll hopefully be able to show you when we're down below next week, but there is a road that goes around these two mountains, the one right in front of us and then this next one, and there's a mine at the end of that. And my biological dad, my real dad, and my stepdad both worked that mine when I was a kid, and they would drive up that road in a little Jeep that was like what they have in the Army, that's only 4 feet wide or 3 feet, I don't know. It was really a small Jeep, and they'd wind around up the mountain on the road that they built from a little cat they had to get into this mine. It was a cinnabar mine, and I don't have any more cinnabar anymore, but it's a rock. It's kind of a tannish rock and everything, but you'll see a little red vein going through it. That's called cinnabar, and they put it into a cooker, they just had a big pipe. They'd throw them all in there, and then they'd start a big fire under the pipe, and it cooks that cinnabar, and mercury comes out into a flask. That's when mercury used to be of value. You know, they got a lot of money for it. Nowadays, they don't use it, or there's no value in it. So the mercury mines kind of closed up. So anyway, but that's what my parents did when I was a kid, just before we moved into Burns. The mercury dried up and they moved into Burns, and my stepdad went to work for the logging company that was in Burns, and my real dad, he moved back to Nevada and opened a truck driving company, driving water trucks. So anyway, that's the rest of the story. So now we're going to go ahead and hike back down to the car, which should be a little bit easier, I think. This will be our last overlook that we get to look at, looking off the Steens Mountains. We're going to hike over to this big canyon. We made it to the end of the trail. Looks like they've got a box here that we use to sign our names. Let's see what's in here. Someone signed it on the outside of the deal. Oh, nope, don't sign our name, but it talks about the area. Actually shows you some pictures of when it's not all smoky. That's cool. Also talks about the 7 principles of leave no trace. This is Wildhorse Lake. That's a pretty good sized lake up here, glacier fed. And interesting enough, this is Wildhorse Canyon, Wildhorse Lake there. And that drains right down to the Wildhorse Ranch, right by Andrews, Oregon. So we will be driving by that in a couple days, so we'll point that out to you. That'll be on our next video, so not this video, but this is a pretty area, and usually the green just pops out, but right now it's kind of gray. So right now we're at 9,400 feet. So that ends this, but a little bit lower than the radio towers. Yeah, lots of little flowers.
Ground hugging.
Look at all the bees.
What's that? That is a big hornet.
That's a big bee.
Not a bee.
It's a big hornet bee. Lots of flies, lots of flowers, such pretty, and it's amazing they make it through the whole winter and come back again. Looks like if you get really adventurous, there is a trail that goes all the way down to the lake. But we're not gonna hike down to the lake. We're kind of taking it easy. We gotta hike back up that way towards the car. So we're gonna go ahead and end this video. Again, the next video will be on the other side of the Steens Mountains here. So you'll get a whole different look. Maybe there won't be as much smoke by that time, I don't know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but we're gonna be plagued with smoke for a while. So this is just what happens. You know, you come all this way and sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to, but it's still a really pretty area. So it's really fun being up here. And
oh, you're on the top of the world.
Top of the world. Yeah, it's really nice. So anyway, thanks for coming along. Do you have any parting words of advice?
Advice?
Everyone needs to come see this.
Yeah.
It's a wilderness area for, you know, a major reason. I mean, it is so pretty. The Bureau of Land Management manages this whole area. If you guys don't know about the BLM, it's the same idea as the Forest Service. but it basically is like New Mexico West. Or, you know, it's just all the western states. It's not like the Forest Service, and mainly it is sagebrush and grasslands and things like that. So, and they're managing a lot of things with the cattle and the ranchers and things like that. That's their job. So, but they also deal with these wilderness areas. There are no trees up here. So, other than down by Fish Lake, there was some small trees, but that was about it. So, anyway, thanks for coming along. And
one cute frog.
Yeah, a cute frog and a fish that jumped.
Oh yeah, there's lots of fish out there.
Lots of fish. So anyway,
should have had our kayak.
Make sure you come along for our next video in a few days. That'll be the other side of the mountain here, so you can kind of get both views of it and see what you think. So anyway, take care, and we'll see you somewhere down the road, or maybe on our next video. Well, hopefully on our next video.